Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bringing you news that's going to keep you engaged, informed, and interacting in the most optimal way for your business, investment, and entrepreneurial activity. Today is the 17th of May. Let's talk about it. And before we do, I want to give a special shout out to Doug Lagver, right? Thanks, brother, for being my very first Patreon. Go ahead, cue the music, cue the sound effects. Very first Patreon. It's going to be folks like you who are going to keep this thing going, this thing that doesn't exist anywhere else, which is Haiti-based business information. We're trying to build a CNBC for Haiti. We're trying to build a Bloomberg for Haiti because we've got to change that dynamic. We've got to change that discussion away from a charity case to a business case because that's the only way this country changes. So again, Doug Lagver, appreciate you, respect, and thanks in advance for anyone else who goes over to Patreon and becomes a patron. All right. So today we have the news that we were dreading, and because we're dreading this, because we know right around the corner is the next shoe to drop. The first shoe has just dropped. Around the corner, the next shoe will drop. 90 HTG, 90 good. It takes 90 good for a single dollar. It's happened, right? The last big protest that happened in February, a big part of those protests was because of the increased cost of living that so many Haitians have been experiencing, in large part because of the depreciation of the good. And though the former prime minister did enact a few policies that allowed the increase to slow down for just a little bit, a little breather. He's since been out of office. We don't officially have a PM. Whether or not those effects are still moving forward is a big question mark, right? Doubt it, because the whole point of a new government transition is to change course, right? And right now we don't have a PM yet. La Pin has not been ratified yet. So we're still sitting without a formal government, which compounds the issue. But I just wanted to take a moment. There's not much news here to report, to be quite honest. I mean, we know 2 months ago we were sitting at 83.10, and now we're at 90.5 formally for the HTG to a USD ratio. That's a 7% increase in 2 months, right? 7% decrease in 2 months, right? And 100 HTG is predicted by July, August at the latest. There's not much news to report here, right? There's not much facts or figures to provide here, right? Other than to show a graph of the HTG going down in its value. What I wanted to do, though, was spend some time talking about what, I already dropped the video of why. If you haven't seen it yet, it's an new palais, and I break down some of the big drivers that were affecting with the depreciation. None of those factors have changed. All those factors are still in effect as I'm speaking to you right now. But I wanted to focus on how do we move forward, right? What's the path to a good that is stable and is moving at a moves downward in a pace that folks can predict and work around, right? And that is, there's only one really, and there needs to be first. The short answer is exports, right? The short answer is Haiti needs to provide something that the world wants and needs and is willing to give their currency and provide. At the moment, we do have an export. People don't want to think about or appreciate or really talk about this, but actually our biggest export is our people, right? Our labor. People leaving Haiti to work in places around the world in different menial roles. Right now, the biggest recipient, the most recent recipient of our big export of actual live bodies has been Chile. Chile has increased its exports, its remittances many fold. Recently, we had a Haiti Biz News episode on it just last week. If you haven't seen it yet, do check it out. And it's now in the second or third place behind U.S. and Canada, of course. And in total, the remittances now are about 40%. I'm saying again, 40% is equal to 40% of our GDP, meaning the money that is currently circulating right now in Haiti, the backbone of the economy is the money that's coming in from these individuals working abroad. But that isn't enough. That is inappropriate, right? As many Haitians who are being deported now from Dominican Republic will tell you, the level of humanity that is lost when the local population becomes nationalistic and decides they don't want these sort of people in their country. When it becomes Dominican Republic first, when it becomes Chile first, when it comes America first, the first folks who are affected are those most in need of those jobs that they had to help support those folks in their country. And Haiti is a key example of that. And I can tell you many, the vast majority, 90, 95, 99.9% of these people who are working over there will tell you they don't want to be here. They want to be in their country. They want to be in a place where people look like them, have the same background, have the same history, and be comfortable, working comfortably where they were born. They don't want to leave, right? And it's up really on us to figure out exactly, and what discussion is going to be about is how do we move forward. And I already gave the answer. Exports. How do we move towards that? It's going to require an all hands on deck from the government. Fortunately, our roads lead back to the government to say, hey, our number one priority, previously Jomo was number one priority was electricity. It is, it should be. It's a very important thing. But in hand, our dual priority, electricity and exports. What can you do, international community, number one, to help us in our goal? Number two, what can you do, private sector? There's, believe it or not, Haiti is not a complete destitute wasteland, as a lot of folks like to think. There is a business community here that is making millions annually. Different businesses making millions annually, selling, and in some part producing. But the core is, how do we get these businesses, which the vast majority are focused on importing and reselling? How do we get these businesses? How do we help these business owners who have the capital, who could invest in the country to create jobs that are focused outward? They could, but why would you? I've had discussions privately with many of these, or a few of these individuals, and they tell me outright, listen, I would love to put a significant investment. In fact, I did put a significant investment, 15, 20 years ago. I lost every penny of it. I lost it all during during that period's political upheaval. I lost it just simply because the government opened its doors and allowed, with no protection, allowed competitors to come in and decimate my industry and my market. I wanted to do it, but I didn't have protections. I didn't have security protections, not just physical through police, but legal. Had no real legal protections, right, at all. And so I lost a multi-million-dollar investment. And I learned right then and there, I am not going to put that sort of activity out because it's a losing proposition. For these folks, they don't go into business to lose, right? They're gonna go in the avenue that can reasonably assure them financial success and security. And the play right now isn't national production. It isn't. It's just the fact. I have a very large, follow a lot of different people of a lot of different opinions on social media. Most of them are Haiti-minded. And a lot of them have very antithetical perception of the elite in Haiti. Is it deserved? The output of the elite's actions, certainly, it's hard to argue. As I'm saying, they make their money through imports. But the criticism needs to really take a step back and ask, if these elites were given the choice, the chance, the opportunity to create, right, and have security in what they were creating for national production, would they or would they not? My talking point is, I'm not sure they've been given that opportunity, right? When I speak to folks in the medium to small, let's leave the elites alone, and I ask them, hey man, you're bringing in dooms of containers. You know, that's not really hurting. That's probably helping you, but it's hurting the economy as a whole. You know what they tell me? They don't have a choice, right? There's no program. There's no system in place that would allow a medium to small person to execute any vision beyond of that of buying some stuff abroad cheaply and reselling it here at a margin to make a profit, right? There just isn't any other alternative, and that's just for the medium or small, right? So really my point, because I can make this an hour-long video, so I'm gonna do my best to keep this real short, is that the only way that we change the direction of the good, and the good will not change until there is 100,000% engagement in this, which is the government needs to decide our international donors, current private sector, and the private sector on all scales, on all fronts, and of course the international sector. When I say international sector, I mean not only just the foreign governments that are providing aid in millions, but also the NGOs, the more private side of the international sector, right? NGOs and non-for-profits and et cetera, that side. All of them engaged in one singular focus and activity and direction, which is providing opportunities for things to be created in this country and sent out. And I can tell you the way that happens is when the government provides legal protections, right? Changes the tax structure to incentivize exports versus imports, right? And improves the many systems that are currently makes it very difficult to set a business here. Again, we're 189th in the world when it comes to registering your business, how long it takes, the process, the stress that it takes. Again, there's so many fundamental things that have to be done in conjunction with making our country an export-friendly environment. Realistically, I'll be back here. Every big waypoint along this downward trend, I'll be back here. Every single time I'll be saying the same things, because hopefully at some point this video will go out to the right person, and maybe next time I come out here, I'm just dans créole. Même avec créole lourd moi, I'm just dans créole parce que peut-être si nous faisons dans créole et comme ça message ça a partagé et une action qu'a faite, parce que c'est impossible, parce que c'est un bail qui moi c'est pas gouvernement qui a dommagé, c'est pas mon politicien qui a dommagé, c'est peuple là, c'est monde qui a essayé de faire la vie au jour à jour qui a dommagé. To bring it back to English, it's the regular folks who are hurting, right? And so if it means I have to do my very next episode of the Haitian good declining in Creole, so this message goes out of what we need to do. And again, take it from what's my background? I'm a classically trained economist, undergrad, graduate, right? School in economics, master's in applied economics, and I've been in business for a very long time. And speaking with a lot of other business people on the ground and other economists who's been here, again, there is no other way than an all hands, 100%, 5-year, 10-year plan to double, triple, quadruple our national exports and finally bring the incredibly bad effect of depreciating good under control. So, do you like what I'm doing here? You agree or disagree? You already know. Leave a comment, right? I like to argue. I will respond to your comments, believe me. Do a like, hit that like button, hit that notification. Know someone who's going to appreciate this. Share it on your social media, on your WhatsApp, through email. Share it. There's too many options when you hit that share button to get this message, to get this video out. And of course, If you really want to be a supporter, really connect with what I'm doing, I'm on Patreon under Seejeanty. Go check me out, become a patron, so we can keep this sort of quality content, necessary content out. All right? Until we're back at it again.